So just before we start, this is not some joke or some hoax or some sort of con to get a ton of views. I don't do that. This console has been tipped and leaked everywhere, and it's basically confirmed. So what I'm going to do in this video is explain how the games are going to work on the next PlayStation console. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. To bring you guys up to speed, not too long ago, Sony actually tipped a new PlayStation console, which threw people into a flurry. No one really understood it. Further leaks and continued rumours began to circulate, and they've basically drilled it down to this console, the PlayStation 4.5, otherwise codenamed as the PlayStation Neo. Now don't worry, your PlayStation 4 is not about to become obsolete, which is what makes this all the more interesting of a product. This is not actually technically a new generation of consoles in itself. It's actually using the same architecture as a PlayStation 4, but what's actually happened is that the internal components have been seriously beefed up. The processor has been overclocked, but the main difference is the GPU, which is now more than twice as powerful. So actually being run on the same architecture means that those games that are coded for PlayStation 4 will not at all have to be altered to run on PlayStation 4.5. So what the company is really doing here is they're offering the people who want to spend some more money on their gaming experience a more sort of ultimate package. This PlayStation 4 can actually play normal games in higher graphics quality. And this is what makes it all the more confusing. It seems like a very strange and pretty stupid thing for Sony to do. If they were to make some games only exclusive on the PlayStation 4.5, they'd thoroughly fragment their ecosystem. And on the other hand, if they don't, then all you're really getting is a graphics boost. And I'm sure that the vast majority of gamers are not really going to care too much, considering how good PlayStation 4 games look anyway. I mean, the people who are that obsessed about graphics tend to normally just go for PC. Okay, so it's a very strange idea. It's come out of the blue totally. But actually, the more I've thought about it, the more I've realized it could actually be a good thing. I think the answer lies in 4K. What the current gen consoles kind of missed out on, they were released about 3 years too early to really take advantage of this technology. They're powerful enough to make really good looking games at 1080p resolution, but as soon as you go to 4K, they really just can't cut it. The adoption of 4K TVs is actually picking up much faster than the industry predicted, and so this could be Sony's way of just staying on top of things. If they manage to release a box that can play these awesome titles, these PlayStation exclusives at a 4K resolution, then it could just take off, because I think Sony is starting to see that 4K is the next standard. It's not going to plateau after 1080p. Another interesting tidbit of information is the price, which is rumoured to be about $399. So it seemed that Sony is trying a really similar strategy to Nintendo when they introduced the new 3DS. Sort of 3DSs that could play the original 3DS games, but also sort of enhance them a little bit. So given that price, I really don't think Sony's going to try and market this as the next generation console. I think they'll probably release it in a similar fashion to what they do with their Slim models, perhaps with an extra bit of storage too. If nothing else, this is just an exciting bit of news. The gaming industry has already reached a stage where the line between game and reality is becoming blurred, so with all this extra power, who knows what developers might be able to achieve. The only potential issue I can see is that if the PlayStation Neo takes off, then we might start to see neglect for the original console. Developers might actually start to make very poor versions of games for those, so perhaps initially develop games for the more superior console and then scale them down, which never works as well. So guys, what do you think? Let's discuss it in the comments section below. I'm Mr. Who's the Boss, and this is Insanely Cool Tech.